You heard that?
Premium Plus on a 21 plate, and my instructions are to start
What?
£77,000. Nice bid.
Hold it, hold it. GT63s is mine. It's right behind me now, on the ramp. Look at that. I am very, very excited right now. AMG is not messing around with this one. You won't believe it. This is a 21 plate car. You know the mileage is? 4,000 miles on the clock. We went to a dealership at Mercedes, and what happened is it got rejected because of driver error. So the first thing I'm going to check is obviously the coolant, because they told me the coolant's out, and as you can see, completely empty coolant, there's nothing in there. I'm going to try to tank the engine and see what's happening. Does it start? Doesn't it start? Because I bought it on the basis of being a non-runner. 315, wow. 315mm wide tyre. That's it, that's it. So that's just under 100 PSI. That's it, leave it. It's a compression leak from the engine, which is not supposed to happen. I really love this car. So I can't wait to get this car started up again. My hope is that it's only a head gasket failure, and I can get away with filling the heads off and replacing the gasket and putting the engine back in. Right, this is the big moment, guys. The car is coming up for auction right now. It's 2 lots away, so you guys come join me. Let's see how it goes. I got a price in mind. This is just a Porsche Cayenne. Soon coming up. 2 lots away. 2 more. We got a Bentley Bentayga up here now. Look at the price going for. Top money, top money. But anyway, GT63 is next. Let's do this. Right about now, my heart is beating very fast. It's one of the biggest investments I'm ever going to make. Alright, here we go.
Right, okay, MBS number 1 then. We move on. MBS number 1 is the Mercedes GT63s.
You heard that?
Automatic Premium Plus on a 21 plate, showing 4,300 miles. Not warranted miles, guys, okay. Requires a new engine, I'm told. Non-runner, plugs and coils removed. So,
non-runner.
As you see it, what we know, we have told you. And my instructions are to start at £77,000 to bid.
That's not worth it.
77. 77,000 number 77, 77, 77, 77, 77.5. 77.5, 77.5. Non-runner, requires a new engine, plugs and coils removed. 77.5. 78 bid. 78,000 number 78.
It's with me at the moment.
78,000 number 78 bid. 78,000 number 78 bid. I'm going to submit the highest bid.
Go on.
78,000 number 78 bid.
Go on then, come on.
78,000 number 78,000 number 78,000 number 78,000 number 78,000 number 78,000 number 78,000. Hold the highest bid.
Hold it, hold it.
78,000 number 78,000 number 78,000 number 78,000.
It's with me, it's with me. No one's bidding.
78,000 number 78,000 number 78,000 number 78,000.
Come on, let's go.
78,000 number 1 78 bid 20 sold on last chance.
GT63s is mine. Right, so you just seen it. I've just bid on the GT63s. How much was it? I forgot the amount.
77.5, I think.
I think it was 78. Hold on.
78.
Alright, so it's going to be about 79,000 with fees. And this car reaches at 120. Do the maths. And it needs a new engine. I'm looking forward to getting this car in. But remember, it's a provisional bid. The reserve is not met. They need to authorize that with, I think, Mercedes-Benz Financial Services. So, flipping now. I'm going to have to wait for that one now. I need to wait for a phone call. I'll keep you guys updated. In case you guys are interested, I'll just show you some more details. I have won the bid, but it's a provisional one. So once they confirm the bid with Mercedes-Benz, I'll be able to know. But yeah, look, it's in graphite grey, magno, metallic. No, not metallic. It's matte paint. 1 key, 1 owner, no logbook. Requires a new. This is the problem, yeah. Requires a new engine, plugs and coils removed. Well, a car with 42,000 miles has an engine that's gone. It doesn't make sense to me. I can only assume it's been tuned and the engine's blown up or something. So we're gonna have to see, I guess. But yeah, look at this stunning car. It's matte black. Can't wait to see this car in person. It is mint. Carbon interior, Burmester sound system. And it's an S model as well. So what's the BHP? 639. Grade 1 condition. I think it's only got 1 scratch on it. 1 chip on the bonnet. Perfect. So yeah, let's wait for that phone call from BCA and we take it from there. So, on the first bid, the reserve was not met and the bid went live again. A few days later, where a lot more bidders got involved. What can I say, guys? I was well committed to buying this one. Just couldn't let this one go, as I know how interesting this project is, being a 21 plate and a non-runner as well. So the final hammer price was £85,200, which meant after fees, this car cost me just over £86,000.
Several days later.
So today is that day. The Mercedes GT63s has just arrived. I'm very excited to start checking the car out. It's right behind me now on the ramp. And look at that. That is looking absolutely insane. It's in matte black, I think. They call it Magno matte black or something like that. Amazing piece of machine this is. What a project. This is definitely the biggest project I've ever done on YouTube. And I'm very excited to getting started and diagnosing the problems. Before I do that, let's have a walk around the vehicle. It has got the AMG GT63s Aero Pack. So you got that splitter there, as an additional extra. It's not the ceramic brakes, they're usually in gold, and this is yellow. Regardless, this is an amazing piece of machine. AMG seats, carbon interior trim. Let's have a look at the back. You got that spoiler there, and that is the one that's actually adjustable and is fixed. You got the other one that goes up and down. This comes with the Aero Pack, and it can be adjusted from what I know using these bolts underneath. Wow, what an amazing, stunning machine. Let's have a look at the back. Look at that. Burmester sound system, heated seats in the rear, pan roof. This car's got everything. Let's have a look at the front. I'm not sure if you guys can tell, but I am very, very excited right now to just get started on it. I haven't even tried because I thought I'll get it all in the video as I go from start to finish. As you can see, it's got the Burmester sound system. It's got ventilated seats as well, which is good for the summer. Carbon trim. You've got this very nice AMG steering wheel. But obviously the battery is completely flat, so can't see that at the moment. Shall we get cracking and get to the best part of the video? Let's pop the bonnet up and let's see what this engine is saying. Remember, from the auction, this car was purchased as a non-runner. So we have to find out what's wrong with this. And I was also told that the car overheated as well. So the first thing I'm going to check is obviously the coolant, because they told me the coolant's out, and as you can see, completely empty coolant, there's nothing in there. Yeah, so obviously the coolant's popped out from somewhere. We have to diagnose the problem and see what we get. So I'll give you guys a bit of a background on this car. When I bought the car, Mercedes-Benz, I requested some information from them about why this car, oh by the way, I know the plate's covered, but you won't believe it, this is a 21 plate car. You know the mileage is? 4,000 miles on the clock. That is shocking, and you're probably thinking, hold on, why doesn't this car go under warranty? So it did, it went to Mercedes, it went to a dealership at Mercedes, and what happened is it got rejected because of driver error. So obviously I questioned it, and I said, what's the error exactly, what happened? So what they said is a stone hit the coolant pipes, all the coolant came out, the message came on the dash, and he kept driving. Normal, and he basically ignored the message, and the car overheated as a result. That's what he's told us, right? So now, it could be anything. Just because they say that doesn't mean it's true. So what we're gonna do is basically do some checks on the car, compression tests, and obviously, it goes without saying really, I'm gonna try to crank the engine and see what's happening. Does it start? Doesn't it start? Because I bought it on the basis of being a non-runner. And you come down this side. And let me just show you guys this car from this angle because it looks crazy. Couldn't really show you guys because it's raining outside. Had to bring the car straight back in, but look at that. Absolutely crazy. But yeah, if you come this side, this car's been stripped already by Mercedes-Benz at the dealership. And as you can see, this is the ignition coil. You've got 2 spark plugs there. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Which means they stripped one side for whatever reason, and then they just left it. And obviously at that point, warranty was rejected for this car, and then it ended up in auction. And that's where I grabbed it from. So now, we're gonna have to figure out exactly what's going on in this engine. Now, in terms of the ignition coils, I believe, yeah, you can see it, look, this side is in, this side is missing. So what we're going to do to start off with is do a compression test on the side that's open already and get a reading using our compression tester. This will tell us if it's low or normal, and then we'll compare it to each of the other cylinders. If the compression is good on this side, what we're going to do is put the remainder of the ignition coil and spark plugs back on, put a booster to the car because the battery is completely flat, and start the engine up. Then we'll see if the engine starts or if it doesn't. And then we will start diagnosing it. Very, very exciting stuff, working on a V8 4-litre twin-turbo engine. This is the M177 engine, the same as you get in the E63s, but this one's got slight differences, like the pistons, the block as well is slightly different. And obviously this is running more power. This standard BHP is 640, which makes it the fastest AMG being built. So yeah, man, I'm very interested in getting this car fixed, repaired, and back on the road. Look forward to it, guys. It's going to be a big project. So let's hook up the booster first and foremost, and then do a compression test. And as you can see, it's not very easy to access that. We're going to have to remove some of these bits and pieces out of the way. I think the ECU just pops out. We've got some wires attached to it as well. Put it aside, put the tester in, and do a compression test. Let's go. So we've got the tester on cylinder number 5, cylinder number 5. I'm going to turn the engine over and see what happens. So I've got someone to get in the vehicle. What he's going to do is basically crank the engine, and that will give us a compression reading from the inside of the engine. Okay, do you know the button is? It's over there, next to the steering gear. So, there you go, some power to the car. Let's crank the engine up, and let's see what the compression test is. That's it. So that's just under 100 psi.
No good.
No good. Looks like low compression to me. It's not looking good already. So we'll check cylinder number 2, cylinder number gun 5, 6, 7 and 8, and then we'll compare the readings. Right, let's go. This is number 6. That is really low.
Okay.
That's right low. So it's very unlikely this engine is going to start. I can tell you that already. When you have more than 2 or 3 cylinders with low compression, it's going to struggle to start. That's for sure. Go again. Okay. It's not looking good. That's 3 cylinders so far with low compression. And what low compression means is internal engine issues. You can only know once you strip it down. So it looks like another big engine project on this one. Let's go. Number 8. Is that number 8? Go for it. All right. So that's got about 100 psi as well. So 5 and 8 might be all right, because it might be 100 psi on these ones. So we'll have to see once we strip the engine down, because the middle 2 were really low. So we're going to have to compare the results and see. So yeah, what we're going to do now is, obviously we know the compression is low on the engine, and that means the engine needs to be stripped down. So what we're going to do is put these back in and try to start the car and see if it does start up, or what happens when it does start up. There you go. That's 2. So we're currently in the process of putting the ignition coils and spark plugs back in. And my mistake, by the way, is 2 and 2, which means 4 on each side. It says V8, isn't it? So 8 cylinders, which means this side is missing as well. So we're probably going to do a compression test on this side while we've got it all open, and then we're going to put those back in and take it from there. See how the car starts, if it starts, that is. All right, so we're now going to do a compression test on bank 1, which is driver's side cylinder head. Let's go. That is proper low. 50 as well on cylinder 1. Is that number 1?
Number 4.
Number 4, okay. So that's right at the back. All right, let's go again. Cylinder number 3. Yeah, so that is very low. So
Go again.
Yeah. That's it, leave it. Alright, so we've done enough compression tests. Obviously the booster battery is now dead out and we can't really do further tests, but we already know we got way more than one cylinder with low compression, which just means one thing really, is we need to strip this engine down, but at least it's turning over. We just saw compression coming out of the coolant tank, which means we got all sorts of problems in the engine, and we can only find out once we strip it down. So as you can see, more or less, most of the cylinders have very low compression, and that only means one thing only, and it means there's an internal engine problem. Now, we all know that the car has overheated because all the coolant came out. So my hope is that it's only a head gasket failure, and I can get away with skimming the heads off and replacing the gasket and putting the engine back in. So yeah, we're gonna have to pull this engine out, and that's why I knew we were gonna do that anyway when I bought this car, because there's no way they're gonna sell a car that's worth £120,000 and say it's a non-runner for no reason. Trust me. Also, I forgot to say, we had the cap open, right? So when he was cranking it, we saw smoke-looking stuff coming out there, which generally means it's a compression leak from the engine, which is not supposed to happen. You saw the same thing happen on the 4 Series as well. But the thing is, the 4 Series needed a lot of work on it, like the piston needed liners and stuff. So let's just hope that the extent of the damage in this car is not so much, because that wouldn't be a good day, would it? But yeah, let's just make sure this car's safely jacked up first of all, before we go any further. Last thing you want is a £120,000 car dropping off the ramp. With the car up on the ramp, and I just realised how wide these tyres are. Look at that, all that grip. What is the profile? Let's check the profile and the width of this tyre. Look at that, 315. Wow, 315mm wide tyre. AMG is not messing around with this one, I'll tell you that much. First of all, let's get these covers off and we'll slowly start stripping down. It's normally obviously the ancillaries first, not the ancillaries, sorry, the wire harnesses, the gearbox, and we'll work our way up. We're taking this engine out. I really love this car, so I can't wait to get this car started up again. So it's currently Friday, we're about to close and we're back on Monday. So that is the end of this video for part 1. We have diagnosed this engine to be internal issues. So until we take the engine out of the vehicle and strip it down, we won't know exactly the extent of that. So we'll be back on Monday for part 2 of this video, where we completely take the engine out, strip it down and look for problems, basically. Looking forward to that, and I'm looking even more forward to further parts of this video where we assemble the engine back up and have it fit. Look at that stunning piece of machine behind me. Amazing. Can't even believe that we've got this project going on at the moment. On to bigger and better things, I guess. But yeah, thanks for joining me on this video. Like this video, subscribe to my channel if you're new. Follow me on Instagram, nams_boost. And I think that's it really. I'll see you guys on part 2. It's going to be a mad one. Look forward to it, guys. See you on Monday.